let's buckle up. There's going to be a fight. This is the shot of a lifetime for Tommy Karpency in the white. Comes from a town of 150 people on the Pennsylvania-West Virginia border. Ada, Pennsylvania. Trains with his father and his brothers. Does not bring in sparring partners. Now he's in with one of the biggest punchers in the world.
Watch your head.
That's the big question. Without those sparring partners, without those high-level partners to simulate this power, this boxing ability, is it enough in a big fight like this?
I don't know how you can simulate power in training. You know, I like where he's at because, you know, he said he did not have a chance before this to prepare for a fight, you know, and now he's had that time, that chance to get ready 2 months for a big fight like this. Man, you're right, it's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance.
Left hand lands and gets an ooh and an ah out of this crowd. As we saw in our first fight of the night, 2 left-handers going at it.
We talked about it before, the ability of Adonis Stevenson, not just to knock a guy out, but to set it up well with good footwork, good boxing. His coaches talked about that. He's an underrated boxer, not just a puncher.
I agree. I've seen a lot of things on tape for on Adonis Stevenson that I'm impressed with. But again, that power, that's his signature.
Guys, in team sports, when there's a prohibitive favorite and a large underdog, they say survive the first quarter in a basketball game, in a football game. Survive the first few innings, calm down. Any truth to that in a championship fight? Whoa! Looked like Karpency's knees buckled.
Well, I think with that, on that note, I think we do have the first round, maybe second round fill out. But after that, you know, once you get an idea of what you can do with your fighter, you got to take it to him.
I think a difference in that mentality is, just like Karpency just did, take your moments to let him know he doesn't have a punching bag in front of him. Make a statement that you won't be pushed around in a big fight.
Yeah, he can't afford to be intimidated at this level and on this stage.
Final 30 seconds of round 1, in which the 2 biggest punches of the fight came from the man in the gold trunks.
Ten seconds.
They'll go to their corners as we end the first round, but Superman throwing and buckling his opponent. We told you in the first round that Tommy Karpency does not use sparring partners, conventional sparring partners. He uses his brothers, who are both prize fighters as well, undefeated young fighters in the Karpency family. This is the biggest shot anyone in the family has had on the national and international stage with a chance to win a belt. Now let's do the nicknames here at the start of round number 2. So Karpency calls himself Kryptonite. The origin of that nickname was the fact that he's fighting Superman. He wasn't called Kryptonite prior to this fight, but once he got Superman, he said, okay, I'll call myself Kryptonite. How did Adonis Stevenson get his nickname of Superman? It is the stuff of prison yard legend. So when he was a teenager, he got involved with the wrong crowd, got into some really horrific gang activity, ended up going to prison. Stevenson's in prison, wanted to watch a prize fight during the inmate's free time. Well, someone came over and told him to turn the channel away from the boxing. He said no, they got to do a fight. Stevenson knocked the man out cold. Turns out the man had 10 friends in the rec room there as Stevenson just took a shot. Now, Superman may be proving to be human here for a moment, but we finish the story by saying this. According to Stevenson, all 10 friends of the first man hit the deck. He knocks out all 10. The prison guards come over and said, what went on? They said, this guy just knocked out all of these guys? The prison guard looked around to the others and said, what is he, Superman? The name stuck.
And he's been flying high ever since.
And I should say, he served his time.
Yep.
And doesn't make excuses for what he did as a young man. Said he got around bad people, made horrible choices in his own life. Well, now he's a man who wants to take care of his family. A man in his upper 30s here who has gotten to the top of his sport.
Guarantee you, none of those guys he knocked out in jail hit like Karpency. That was a good shot over the top.
And Karpency coming into this fight should be confident. He got a big win over Chad Dawson, which was a major upset. And, you know, Chad was two-time light heavyweight champion. Got a win over, 2 wins over me. So, you know, but it's a different animal in there right now tonight because of that power, man. If you can't get away from that, it's a good chance you're going to get knocked out.
Yeah, Chad Dawson more of the boxer than puncher. Yes. Adonis Stevenson, he has both. One thing I'm a little surprised at, Karpency finding his moments, but not very active, not throwing a lot of punches, kind of looking for the one big shot over the top. Letting Stevenson outwork him a little bit in the center of the ring.
And Stevenson's seen right now, hell-bent on just setting up that overhand left from a counter-punch position. I think he can do more right now with that jab. Get that jab working.
Oh, nice shot. Oh, and Karpency staggered. You cannot be saved by the bell. He goes down before the bell. We should have a count here. He cannot be saved by the bell, and Karpency has lost his wits.
7, 8, 9, 10.
The bell rang as he was going to the ground, so he can go. He had to survive the 10 count. He just barely did that.
And again, that power came out of nowhere and almost knocked this guy clean out.
And it was the combination ability. It wasn't the one shot. It was the ability to throw a combination after he had him hurt. Man, that straight left hand, and look at it. The combination going after him. Not letting Karpency off the hook.
Maybe the saving grace there was the fall was so wobbly, Stevenson couldn't follow up with one more punch. Had he landed something clean there, this thing probably was over.
Exactly. Can't be saved by the bell, but he was saved by the bell.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine after the 60-second break between rounds how Stevenson might come out to finish this fight. We're back live at the start of round number 3. Does Karpency have his legs back? It doesn't appear so. He goes down again. Will he get up?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hector Afu says that's it. Okay. That is it. And Superman polishes off his opponent in 2 rounds and about 10 seconds.
And that's what makes him very dangerous for any light heavyweight out there, man. That power is unprecedented that I've seen at the light heavyweight division.
And there are some big names in the light heavyweight division. We just announced, of course,
one big name.
One big name. I think Fanfare is a big name, too. Cleverly, they're fighting on PBC.
Yep.
But, of course, the big name, Kovalev, that's what everybody's thinking of. But, man, this guy has championship power.
Another look from ring angle, ring level, I should say. Oh,
perfect punch. And like you said, when he land that shot perfect, look what happens. Everything goes. Your legs, your equilibrium, you're out of there, man.
When you fall flat on your face, don't even put your hands up. Legs go stiff. That is a true knockout. I think a good stoppage. Karpency was done.
He was done.
If you doubted the boxing ability, if you doubted the power of Adonis Stevenson, think again. Karpency, a tough dude to finish.
And he mugs for the camera and yelled out his nickname. He goes to 27-1 with his 22nd knockout. Well, he still has energy left, so Jimmy, let's go get an in-ring interview with him. You will hear from the champ after this. We're back. It was one of those don't blink, you might miss it fights, and Superman showed his superior power. He is now strapped up, and he gets to put his hand up as the official announcement we hear from Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the ring, referee Hector Afu waves off the contest officially. 21 seconds into round number 3. The winner by TKO and still light heavyweight champion Adonis Superman Stevenson.
One more look at Superman's power. The shot that ended it. just about finished it off at the end of the second round. At the beginning of the third, there was no question. Champ, good to have you back at the broadcast table here.
Glad to be back.
We'll see y'all next month in Chicago.